Hey guys, Professor M here with MyGenPlanet.com, and today we're going to take a look at the Transformers Generation Legacy Series Commander Decepticon Motormaster. It was revealed today, and I'm going to have to say that when I first saw the image, Mr. J sent me the image of the box art a couple of days ago, and I'm going to say the box art looks really cool. I am a huge Motormaster Minosaur fan, and so I was kind of excited when Drift was actually released in the first wave. Of course, it was out of stock almost instantly before I even got a chance to even pre-order it. And as of this recording on the Hasbro Pulse website, it is still out of stock. However, it has none of the legacy toys have, at least for me anyways, have shown up at Marvel. None of the legacy toys have shown up at Walmart or Target or even like Walgreens or anything like that. We don't have a whole lot of retail box stores that you can purchase Transformers from now. You still have Amazon and Walmart.com and big bag toy store and stuff like that. But like when you go to Amazon or even like Walmart.com, stuff is being gouged like completely. Like there was a couple legacy toys on Walmart.com that were completely like overpriced, like $89 for the Voyagers that pre-ordered and sell at MSRP at $24. Now this is the problem I'm going to have with this Motormaster. Is first of all, I think he looks good. Okay, there's a base mode. Okay, I don't care about the base mode. I think most of us Motormaster Minosaur fans, when we get all the figures, we're gonna have him in combined mode. Okay, I can't imagine anybody displaying him in base mode other than for like maybe the kids or whatever. The base mode looks fine. It doesn't look that great. You can see a lot of it. It does look like that Motormaster himself might form a bit of the chest piece, not pace. So on the back here of the box, we actually, I'm surprised that Motormaster was released so soon. Actually, honestly, when they first released Drift, I was expecting Wind Rider, which Wind Rider is coming in Wave 2. Which I find hilarious that Wave 2 has been announced when, as I was saying earlier, I haven't even received anything from any retail store where I live at. Now, Mr. J did find 2 legacy figures at Target, and one of them was basically the Galvatron, which we got from Kingdom. Which are some of these figures are just like figures that they still had a whole bunch and they're just rebranding them from Kingdom into Legacy. But for the most part, most of the figures on the shelf right now are basically Kingdom figures and even some of the Beast Wars reissues, even like Tigertron is just sitting on the shelf. Like literally, like to yesterday when I was at Walmart, there was quite literally like a stack of Scorponox just sitting on the shelf. And even though I look at it, I go, I could get it, but I just don't have any desire to get it. And that's unfortunate because I think it'd be a really cool figure, but I have the Kingdom one, and I haven't opened any of my legacy figures yet from like the reissues, other than like the Rodimus that I opened up, but I had like 5 of those, so I still have one in the box and everything. So I have a couple issues with this Motormaster and the Minosaur skeleton. I'm actually quite surprised that he's coming out so soon. I actually expected him to be the last one to come out, just because, I don't know, I just figured he wouldn't be the second of the Stunticons to come out, if not the first. And the reason, and he might be coming out because honestly, if you don't get Motormaster, because it's a full package, the trailer and Motormaster himself, you basically can't make Minosaur. Now, I have a problem with the pricing. The pricing on this guy right now is up a pre-order. I'm looking at it right now on HasbroPulse.com. I can pre-order maximum 2 per customer for $89.99 because he's being billed as a commander class. Now, he is by standard a Voyager figure. Okay, he is a Voyager figure, and from what I can tell, just by the box art and everything like that, so the trailer transforms into a base mode. He has a sword, and it's the same sword that Motormaster uses, as well as Minosaur, and he has a gun. He has a double barrel gun, which doesn't look all that great. It has purple paint, double barrel, purple paint. Like I said, it's built as a 45 step changer from trailer mode to base mode, and I'm assuming this is 23 steps, and there's also 23 steps to go from the truck mode to Minosaur. Now, Motormaster. I'm gonna say Motormaster looks good on his own. The trailer looks good. There is you do see the chest piece of Motormaster for Minosaur mode on the back of the trailer, as well as some of the arms. I mean, this isn't a third-party figure, so, but being a legacy line figure, and as I have personally not held any legacy line figures in my hand yet, so I don't know if these are the same quality of even the Studio Series or even the Kingdom figures, but it looks okay. It looks like it's gonna be some good plastic. I could be wrong. You know, like I said, it looks like the same sword. So, and his hands are just your standard Hasbro circles. You know, they're building this as a commander class, and like, and me and Mr. J talked about this. Like, you know, he said he's gonna get them because, you know, he wants a Minosaur, and I'm on the fence about it. You know, because here's the total price. Okay, now of course I went in, and both me and Mr. J went in on the Studio Series Devastator. Okay, now the two most expensive figures in that set was Scavenger and Overload, which are both leader class, where a couple of the other ones were Voyagers or whatever. And then I think there was one. I think Scrap Metal was a deluxe class, which was the $20 price point, which is now I think the $22 price point. Now, my issue with this is that, and a lot of people complained about Rodimus Prime being a commander class at $89. Well, here's the thing. So that Rodimus Prime, I am slowly, like, over time going to be switching my collection to probably like third-party masterpiece figures as I can. But I feel like he would be one of the few figures from Hasbro in the last like decade that I'm going to keep on my shelf that I would mix in with masterpieces, because he just looks good. Now, granted, the trailer doesn't combine with Rodimus. It basically just plugs in, and it's like a base, so it's like kind of just in the drawer. But his figures are articulated. He came with a ton of blouses. He came with a gun, sword, the Matrix. The Matrix has blouses. It came with a bunch of accessories. The trailer was painted really well. Rodimus was painted really well. The transformation was very smooth. It's probably one of my top 10, which is something I'm probably going to be doing in 2023. I'll probably do a top 10 best figures of 2022 that I purchased or took a look at. So, and according to the website, he's not going to be shipped until December. So even if I don't pre-order it right now, I don't feel like it's going to go out of pre-order. Just like I feel like, because he will show up in retail stores. He will show up in retail stores, whether it be Walmart or Target. I don't know. I don't think they will limit this guy to being exclusive, because, you know, he is needed. If you want to build Minosaur, you need Motormaster. Okay? Now, granted, the third-party figures like Zeta and DX9, for those of you who may not know anything about third-party Transformers, when they have done the Decepticons, every set that I have seen have always done the trailer separate. Now, granted, we're talking about a third-party figure, which is more accurate to whatever version they're doing, like either G1, G2, or stylized. But they're more articulated. They have their larger masterpiece scale, obviously, and they have die casts and stuff like that in them. So, of course, Motormaster himself is like the $150, $175 price point. And then the trailer, which is basically everything for the combiner mode, is like $200. You know, I believe the DX9 Motormaster came with the trailer, and it was kind of like a whole piece. Whereas, like, you know, like kind of like the G1 was just one whole piece. And that's kind of how they're doing this one. Hasbro is doing this one. But, of course, the trailer can detach from Motormaster. So, you know, you can just have them displayed in truck mode. The skeleton looks good. Just like the G1 and most third-party ones. Motormaster transforms and looks like he's just gonna plug into the back. I know there's some people out there that have said that looks like Motormaster is gonna be more part of the chest, but I don't think so. Just by looking at the trailer part, you can see the chest piece of Minosaur on the back, which is unfortunate because it does break up the trailer. It does, you know, and then especially the joints of the arms does break it up, you know. Whereas the truck mode looks pretty good from the angle that we see. Like, it looks like a solid figure. Like, it looks like a solid figure to me. You know, on its own, you know, if they release just Motormaster on his own without the trailer for like $25, I'd probably get it, you know. But I understand that they got to build it with the trailer, and the fact that they're releasing this as a commander class because because of the combined mode aspect, I find that ridiculous. Okay, now you can leave me a note in the comments down below if you think I'm wrong in that, but I feel like it's ridiculous that we're charging basically $90 for a Transformer figure that on its own doesn't do a whole lot. I mean, yes, you have the base mode, but again, who's going to be using that base mode? Nobody. If you're going to be using that base mode, let me know in the comments down below. But I'm pretty sure most people are either going to display these guys in as a Decepticon crew or in combined mode. Now, if it wasn't so expensive, I probably would buy 2 sets. One set to be in Minosaur mode and one set to be like in bot mode, you know? But I don't know what the scaling looks like because I haven't seen Motormaster standing next to Drift or Wind Rider. Now, Wind Rider looks like he's going to be plugging into the back, so just like the G1. Now, I know the third-party versions have the option where you can have the legs in the front or the back. But to be G1 accurate, you know, Dead End and Wind Rider are on the back. And it looks like the arms, it looks like they separate. So just like, you know, where the G1 obviously didn't. And the more I'm looking at the skeleton, the more it's reminding me of the DX9, because this is how the DX9 was. It was basically a skeleton, and you basically take apart, you know. Now the only difference is that Wind Rider looks like he folds in half, whereas all the third-party ones, both the Zeta and the DX9, basically just like ports come out the back, and he just kind of attaches to the back of the legs or the front of the legs, depending on how you want to do it. But the head sculpt looks great. Motormaster on its own looks good. The truck mode looks great. The trailer looks okay, but again, as I said, with the combiner parts showing, and then like the purple stripe, there's a spot where the purple stripe is just cut off. There's like the paint, and being that this is being sold as a commander class, which is supposed to be a step up from leader class, but not quite Titan class. I'm just kind of like I'm kind of annoyed. Now, if you for whatever reason end up missing out on one of the figures, or even Motormaster himself, I'm pretty sure sometime next year Hasbro will release a full set for like $300 or $200 or something like that, because They did the same thing with Devastator, you know, where they released 2 at a time, you know, or 1 at a time over the course of 2 years. And for those who couldn't get all of it or missed one for whatever reason, they did release it as a full set. So I would suspect that they're going to do that too. Now, I know Mr. J for sure is going to be getting these. He's already told me he's getting them. He's probably already pre-ordered it. So we'll be reviewing. I will be taking a look at these as they come out. If I see them in the retail stores, I will probably pick them up. But as of right now, Wave 1 has hardly shown up at Walmart. And just recently, I've gotten information that they've showed up at Target. I don't know if they're going to show up at Walgreens. Now, obviously, I can get these figures at, you know, Big Bag Toy Store, which I don't recommend I have my reasons. I don't recommend purchasing from them. There are other stores online that you can purchase from that are selling at MSRP, but most of them aren't. Amazon right now is showing them all at scalping prices. Same thing with Walmart.com. They're all at scalper prices. So, you know, don't buy them. You know, my philosophy has always been, because I've sold figures too, you know, but if it's no longer available and I have something and like I don't need it anymore and I want to sell it and I can sell it for 2 to 3 times the original price that I bought it for, I'm going to sell it for that. You can call me a scalper all you want, but the difference is that I had the figure and I held the figure for several years where the figure is no longer in print or no longer available because it was an exclusive limited run figure set. You know, now, so, but when something is still in production like this thing, like this is a mass production figure, okay? They're going to make a bunch of these, okay? I got Rodimus Prime, and then I scraped to get that thing because I really wanted it. And I got it, and right after I got it, about a week later, they just showed up. And there was quite a few times, both at 3 different Targets that I had gone to, and 3 different Walmarts. I had seen it, and I even saw it on Amazon at actually a little bit cheaper than I had paid for mine. So I would say Motormaster is probably more popular than Rodimus Prime in terms of being a commander class and the price point. So I'm pretty sure that this might be a little harder to get. It might not be a shelf warmer, but we'll see. We will see how things go. But as of right now, my take on it is I don't recommend it. Even if you are a Metasaur fan, I love the Stunticons. I used to have the G1 set, and I'm currently in the process of hunting them down for a reasonable price. I can get them right now on eBay, but I'm not paying $600 for a G1 set because they're not that great. But it's just a nostalgia factor, really. So yeah, guys, that's my take and kind of like overview. It's the first time I've done one of these, you know, where I've done like a preview, like kind of just talking, showing you guys the pictures of what's been released. I'll have the link to the product page on Hasbro Pulse. You guys can check that out. Like I said, right now it's limit 2 per customer. It's, you know, the only thing I can tell you is, you know, it is G1 inspired. It's 13 inches and full robot mode. It's been updated for the generation's stylish design. It has 3 epic modes, which I wouldn't consider the base mode epic. But it doesn't list any accessories, and it is for ages 8 and up. So take that with a grain of salt right there. It's not gonna be anything like super uber special. You know, it's one of those things you can drop this guy, and it's probably not gonna break. It looks like there might be a little bit of panel forming on it, especially on the trailer. But we'll see. We'll see once I get it in hand. I'm sure there's some reviewers out there will have it they'll have it tomorrow, and they'll be reviewing it, you know. But if you guys support the channel and support Majin Planet TV here on YouTube, and you know, in the next 3-4 months, or end of the year really, because that's when it's supposed to be released, depending on if it shows up early in retail stores or not. Somewhere in like late fall, you know, check out our review. We'll have a review of it for sure. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching today. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about more later. If you like these kind of videos, if you guys want to see me do more like kind of like overviews, previews of the Legacy line, I will say right now that I'm skipping most of the Legacy line. The only thing that I wanted to get was Drift, and then I was gonna get Prime, but I ended up canceling my order because I was just like, you know, I don't really need it, you know, and the pricing point of this Minosaur set is kind of ridiculous because, you know, Drift was like $22.95, I believe, and I'm assuming the other Senticons will be the same price. You know, they will be all the same price in terms of like let me take a look here. I'm gonna double check here. Did I say Dead End? Yeah, okay, yeah. So Dead End is probably gonna be 22. Drag Strip was 22. Wind Rider, which is coming out with Wave 2, is gonna be 22. I think the other one's Breakdown or whatever. I guess it depends. I'm not sure what they're gonna do. They can either go off-road, they can do off-road, or they can do blackjack, you know. So it really depends on what they go with, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna go with probably Breakdown for the other leg, or sorry, the other arm. Sorry, Drag Strip and Breakdown of the arms, and Dead End and Wind Rider are the feet or legs. So, and then Motormaster. So Motormaster is 90, and the other ones are 22 a piece. So even if you round it up, 22, and so you round up to 23. You round it up to 23. So you round it up to 23, and you times that by 4 figures. That's $92 plus 94 for Motormaster. So the entire set, not including the tax, and this is if you pay the MSRP price, the Minosaur set's going to cost you $182. It's going to be about $185 to $200. So with tax, it's $200. So think about that for a second. This set is going to be $200. Okay? And this isn't a Studio Series set. This is their chug line. Okay? Let's not get I know people are excited for this Minosaur because we haven't had a Minosaur since, I think, Combiner Wars, and I don't think that one was that great. And I never saw it in store, and every time I looked online, I wasn't paying like the $250 for it. Like, I just wasn't, you know. But it was also, I think it was sold as a full box set and released individually as well. I'm not 100% sure on that because I wasn't really collecting Transformers at the time when Combiner Wars was out. You know, it was kind of like, oh, I saw them in the store, but I didn't buy anything because of my situation at the time. But so yeah, yeah, it's gonna be kind of, I don't know how well these are gonna sell, just because there's no show to really sell these things. Not like Kingdom and Earthrise or War for Cybertron line. You know, there was an animated series to go along with it, so you got way to hype kids up. But we'll see. We will see. But yeah, if I do end up picking up this guy, it'll be sitting in combined mode. I don't see me displaying them in bot mode or even vehicle mode, because the trailer doesn't. The more I'm looking at this trailer, the more it just annoys me that we have this spot where the purple is just cut off. Like, they're not. It's a commander class, so we can't paint that. Like, come on, Hasbro. You can't paint that, or even do some kind of like panel flip, you know? Because I'm assuming that the reason why that's not painted is because that's probably a panel for the arm, so that part wouldn't be purple. But I mean, you got to be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. So, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Leave me a comment down below, links in the description, all that good stuff. Subscribe, and as always, guys, until next time.